Hey folks, it's Brian from Manage Comics, and I thought it'd be cool to do a little demo of Manage Comics. We'll go through some of the screens. I've got a presentation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk through the presentation, and simultaneously we'll show you individual screens. This is kind of just a jumping on point, though. If you'd like to see more of Manage Comics in action, I'm just going to ask you to reach out to me. I'm available at help@managecomics.com. If you go to the Manage Comics website, there's a little chat box in the bottom right-hand corner. Click on that, and usually I will hear from you within a few minutes, and I'll get back to you. So those are two great ways. I'll also be manning our booth at the ComicsPRO thing, so hopefully we can chat. But why don't we just jump right into this guy? So Manage Comics is a Shopify integrated subscription system. We're integrated with Shopify. We are the only comic subscription solution available on the Shopify App Store right now. And what that means is that we leverage the power of Shopify for their amazing e-commerce stuff with the power of Manage Comics and our massive GeekFetch database and all the stuff that we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. So what that means for you is that your website suddenly becomes super powered. So all of your products on your website can potentially become subscription tools and advertisements for subscriptions and pre-orders. And what I mean by that is, if we look at this monkey prints here, there's a little link to subscribe to series. When we click on that, we actually go through to the Manage Comics page for the series. And from there, a customer can subscribe to an individual, to the overall series, or pre-order a specific upcoming cover. And they'll see things like ratio variants and upcoming issues as well. The subscription tab is where all the magic really happens. So from the customer's point of view, when they're logged in to your Shopify store and they're available for their subscriptions, they can manage all of their upcoming subscriptions and pre-orders. So on their actual My Subscriptions page, they'll see anything that they've pre-ordered coming up. They'll see dates that are expected to be shipped. By the way, we update these fairly regularly, at least once a week. They can also delete or change quantities on their subscription items. Everything's tied to the FOC, so you're not going to get stuck with stuff, because if somebody deletes something after an FOC, they'll still get pulled until the next FOC. Also, if they add it after the FOC, they wouldn't get the next issue, and they'll get notifications around that stuff. The pulled orders tab shows them what has been pulled recently by date. So it actually shows the date it was pulled. It may have been pulled on the Monday, even though the street date won't be till Wednesday, but they can at least see that things have been pulled as they get pulled. Build orders are things that they have been billed for and that they can go ahead and pay for online. This is enabled only if you're allowing them to pay for their orders online. And shipping preferences just let them choose between local or any shipping preferences that you have enabled. Browsing by product type will show them all of the different types of products that you allow for pre-order. Release date shows the latest releases that are in the catalog. And browse by FOC would show the weekly FOCs. So kind of getting your customers in the habit of understanding what the FOC cycles are all about is kind of part of the process. There's a kind of fairly rudimentary right now search in the subscriptions area that allows them to search through all of the different catalogs we have. And we have about 380,000 products available in our overall database, and we kind of maintain the 3,200 every month new products that get put up there between all the different distributors. From your standpoint, your customers are all through Shopify, so there's not there's like, we consider Shopify the source of truth for everything. So you manage all of your customers inside of Shopify. And then on the Managed Comics side, you can you can search for customers that are in Shopify and then assign them subscriptions. drilling down into their subscription list, you see things like, upcoming things that they've got subscribed. You'll see inactive products between things that are just done and things that they've removed off their lists in the past, and then pre-orders that they have outstanding. The customer subscription page is kind of where some of the magic happens. This is actually a really, really cool page that allows us to, as you can see, we're searching for Amazing Spider-Man here, and we're going to actually clone all of the existing Amazing Spider-Man customers into the new Amazing Spider-Man title. And it only takes a couple seconds, but being able to do this kind of thing, to create kind of look-alike subscriptions and stuff like that, is really powerful and something that can be done in just a couple of clicks. Customer orders are where your invoices that you're going to send out to your customers are, whether they're sent out via email to them, so they can pick, pay and collect, or if it's through the POS. So you'd create an order, and then that kind of moves it over to the point of sale system. Customer activity is where we see all of the existing special orders that customers have made. And at this point, you can actually approve those orders, adjust the pricing, maybe make it discount exempt, and leave a little message, which then gets shown on the actual customer screen when they approve the adjustment that you've made. Customer changes just shows you any subscription changes that have been made in the last period of time. And our reporting stuff is fairly robust. We have a shortages report, which is based off our check-ins. So at the end of the check-in process, you'll actually generate a shortages damages report. We have subscription shortages, which just shows you who you need to fulfill subscriptions for. So the next time you check in those products, they would get pulled for these customers first. Held back products allows you to take anything that is kind of behind the shelf, stuff that you may have held back during the check-in process, and move that over to your Shopify store as well. And subscription totals just gives you an at-a-glance view of all your totals that are available. Our ordering does both initial orders and FOCs. You have the ability to adjust your shelf copies and, do some filtering around publishers and product types and all that good stuff as well. FOCs let you upload a file first from the individual distributor and then go through and adjust your quantities. Check-in is where the real magic happens. So you upload your invoices into Manage Comics, and we figure out all those products. Then you physically check in the products and mark off what is damaged or shortaged. You can adjust the exchange rate if you're a non-US customer. Confirm the titles that are going to be pulled, and adjust any pricing that needs to be adjusted. So if there's 1 in 50s, or maybe there's some net price product in here, you'll want to adjust that before you go through your check-in process, because at the end of this is going to create all the Shopify products with all the descriptions, the images, the titles, the tags, and all that good stuff as well. At the end of this, you'll adjust any quantity that you want to import to Shopify. So like I said earlier, you may want to hold a few copies back, and that's where you'll do that. You just review and confirm it, and there's your pulls. And at the end of this pulls process, you end up getting a CSV file that you can download, that you can kind of slice and dice however you want as well. Plus, on these screens, you can change it from sort by last name to by ID number, or by first name, or by title, however you do your polls. Our settings let you get in there and really quickly change things like your button, and even the words on your button, exchange rate overall, your choice whether you're going to use ISBNs or ISBNs plus 5, a terms of service, which when a customer first subscribes, they get this little terms thing. Discount rates let you choose between a single or tiered discounting. Tags are really important because these help with your front end on Shopify and let you really kind of drill down to things like writers and artists and titles and genres, which you can then use on filtering on your Shopify front end. Ratio variants mean that you can actually decide whether or not to display ratio variants or not. And if you choose not to, you can just kind of hide those entirely, and they're still available on the back end, but not available on the customer end. And shipping options just lets you choose between local pickup and any sort of shipping that you want to offer. In the publishers section, you can choose which publishers you display based on local restrictions. Like in Canada here, we're not allowed to have boundless, so we don't have boundless on our listings. You can also choose which distributors you use for each product, depending on whether or not there are multiple distributors available for them. Setting product types, you can not only set which product types you show in your store, but you can also set a few things like Shopify has manual categorization to determine taxing. So in Canada, there's 9 different tax rates, and we set kind of exemptions based on those. In the United States, there's, I think, 2,300 different tax rates. So you'd have to set them kind of based on your own internal tax rate. And, I just want to stress that we're always available for help. So we not only have a really robust, and I'm really proud of our knowledge base. It has step-by-step instructions on how to do just a host of different things. I have 45 individual step-by-step items in there. We also have an FAQ. We show things like how to open a CSV file without breaking it, thanks to our friends at Penguin Random House, who had an amazing documentation on that I liberally borrowed from. We also have a live chat. So if you ever have a question, you can pop into the live chat and ask us, or you can send an email. And yes, we answer them all fairly quickly. We're really, really proud of the fact that we have a 91% happiness score. And the 2 people who didn't like our help, I've actually reached out to both of them and asked why, because it really, really bothers me. In terms of requirements, you do need to have a Shopify e-commerce front end. Whether or not you use Shopify POS is kind of up to you, but we recommend Shopify Point of Sale, Connect POS, or Binder Pause. We have some customers who are using Lightspeed and Hyperspace connected to Shopify. So Manage Comics is a Shopify app. We are available right now in the App Store. You can get started super easy. It's literally 1 click. Actually, I think it's about 4 clicks. It's built into Shopify. It integrates with your Shopify online store. It takes minutes to install and get set up. And we have a YouTube channel. You should check us out. Bi-weekly, we do these things called the Managed Comics Thought Stream. We'll do one again next Thursday. And we discuss Managed Comics implementations and just retailer concerns in general. So if you have a comic shop, you already use Shopify, get Managed Comics 2 today. Just go to managedcomics.com, click on the little button. You will get, when you send your sign up with your email and stuff, you'll get a link to the Shopify App Store. You'll get a current version of our guide. You'll get regular progress emails. We send out a weekly email about what we're doing and what we're working on, and you'll get previews of the new features. So that's Managed Comics in a nutshell. And thank you so much to ComicsPRO, and we hope to talk to you soon.